I'm starting here with a great looking registration form from the folks over at No Codable Components. But I want to add in a little bit of UX pizzazz and also account for a frustrating instance when a user isn't quite in the place that you expect them to be. That being, what if they already have an account and they try and use the registration form? But let me give you a demo of what happens right now. This is untouched. In fact, let's dive right into the workflow. I've got this workflow here, and all I'm doing is taking the email field and the password field. That is it. And this is what Bubble does out of the box. It's almost like I put a password in there and go sign up. We get an ugly browser error alert. And yes, it delivers the key bits information, but it isn't helpful in two ways. And those two ways are we want to offer better UX. So we want to offer a better alert and then maybe even show them and pre-populate the sign-in form. Another use case which I see is if you have a team or organization based app and you've got team managers who create accounts on behalf of other people and you want them to be able to sign in and claim access to their account, something like a magic link is a really good use case there. But, and this has come up in the Bubble coaching call that I ran, what if the user has an account because someone's created that account for them, but they don't know that and they end up in registration? It's just causing a lot of pain. So let's dive into improving the UX and talking more about what we can do when that alert comes up. But before I go into that, we can't make videos like this without our members. Tired of searching YouTube for Bubble tutorial videos? When you become a Planet No Code member, you get access to our complete video library. That's content you won't find on YouTube. It's hundreds of Bubble tutorial videos plus 4 of our courses. Learn about a particular Bubble topic just by searching for it, or use our custom trained AI to ask questions specific to your project, receive detailed answers, and recommended videos. So with access to hundreds of Bubble tutorial videos, courses, and an AI assistant that learns about the app that you're building, becoming a Planet No Code member is a bit of a no-brainer. Click the link in the description to sign up today. First thing I'm going to do is dive into an unlikely place, which is the languages section. I mean, did you know that your Bubble app basically has the capacity to swap between languages? You don't need to use any third-party plugins for it. But the reason I want to dive into here is that if we do a search for, if I just search, so not the email address, but just the error code, email already. Is it email already? I'm going to have to run it again just to see what the error was. Here we go. This email is already in use. So if I search for that, we can see here that these are all of the basically errors. Email is already in use. These are all of the errors that Bubble throws up. And so we can directly edit the error that appears in the ugly browser alert, but we also get these codes, which is used underscore email. And this is just something which I think goes under the radar for a lot of Bubble app users, but it's incredibly useful, which is that if I go onto the page and then go to add a workflow, you can run workflows based on those error codes. So I can say when an unhandled error occurs, that's when that ugly browser alert shows up. And when that unhandled error, the code is used email, but code is used email. Suddenly, you can take this anywhere. So one thing I'm going to do is improve the alert. So I've already got a plugin installed for Toast notifications. Toast notifications are just probably an open source library, judging from the amount that are available on the plugin directory. So I've got OpenToast installed. I have to add an element to the page that puts the relevant scripts in place and then enables me to run a workflow. So if I search for the notify element, now that I've got that plugin installed, I'll just add this to my page somewhere completely out of the way. I'm going to say show the alert in the middle, and then so it doesn't affect the design, I'm just going to send the element down to the bottom of the page. It just has to load in on the page. And now if I go back to my workflow, I can say on the notify, the notifier, which is my notifier there, and I can say account already exists. And that's just going to be, let's make it the error notification so that it's red. And then so that we've got a bit more time to play with it, let's show it for 10 seconds. I go back to my demo, and I go sign up. There we go. Another unhandled error. No password. But now if I add in password, so we don't get the ugly browser alert at all. We just get the lovely toast notification. But wouldn't it be even better if we sent them through to the sign up form? Now, with the no codable element here, I believe that they are using URL parameters. So n equals login. So what we would want to do, personally, it's my preference to have a separate page for login and registration. I think that's really helpful if you've got your marketing, your landing page built with something like Webflow or Framer or Wix, any of those. It just means that when you have your like login and your registration bits in your nav bar on your marketing site, you can link through to two distinct pages. Remember, we are trying to get to a point where our users, it's the least clicks, least frustration, least resistance to using the apps that we create. So what I need to do is, and actually this will be an interesting test, because when you go to the current page, it doesn't really do a full refresh of the page. So I'm going to add in, go to page, and just say current page, and then send more parameters, and it was m equals login, I think. Okay, let's see how this behaves. I'm not sure how it's going to behave with the toast notification, given that it is going to a different page, but I don't think it really is. Right, so that's my login page actually. So let me get rid of the URL parameter here. Right, here we go. Sign up. Oh, that actually works perfectly. So we are now on the login page, and we get the more attractive, much better looking alert. The fact that Bubble takes into account and basically prepares the whole auth process is definitely a shortcut worth taking. And it's one of the benefits of using a no-code platform like Bubble. Because if you were to code it yourself, you're bound to add in your own security vulnerabilities. It just makes it so easy. But that doesn't kind of escape the fact that if we go back to the language, that there is still a surprising number of things that can happen when a user attempts to log in, just like we saw when I had the password. So if you wanted to make your app really with the UI, make it look really good, you would want to go in and add in notifications, toast notifications for wrong password or password reset, wrong 2FA if you're using a 2FA token. There's a lot that you can add in. But hopefully this is just a start, and I think it is genuinely useful in that use case when you've got users in your app who are creating accounts for other people, and you just want to be able to send the people who you know already have an account. You want to send them to the right place in your app to log in, maybe update their password, that sort of thing.